Welcome back to the channel. And today we want to have a discussion, a candid discussion about Electroneum. So when you think of candid, what type of words come to mind? Uh, Probably something like frank, to be open, to be sincere. So we're gonna try to do that today. So you know, I used to work for one of the largest investment firms in the country, and I remember managing quite a bit of accounts. And a lot of the accounts that I managed came from very professional people, busy professional people, doctors, lawyers, a lot of them. And I remember quite a bit of them. Some of them are actually my friends to this day. One of them is actually a famous person. And what I noticed about these people was that when the market would move up or down, their reactions were pretty much the same, and they didn't check in much, right? We give them a rundown of what was happening in their portfolios, and go up there, be, oh, that's great, and so. And we would have some people get excited, yeah, sure, if it was a big, but a lot of times we didn't, wasn't like big gains like what you get in cryptocurrency. That's not normal stuff for the type of securities we dealt in. And so they would be, okay, that's great. And market would go down, pretty much same reaction, no big deal really. So then we kind of go from that to where you might have with a more professional group. Then you kind of get down to maybe the working class of America. And with the working class of America, you would probably have something like, probably someone would contribute to their 401k plan. And, within that 401k plan, there would be a fund manager, and he would handle the investment through the 401k. And the reason I'm, saying all those things and making those distinctions is because what I noticed in all those examples was that all of these groups of people, their money was managed in a custodial like capacity, right? And they weren't really responsible, right, for the accounts. The fiduciary responsibilities fell on us. And so what you get with that is you get, interesting enough, a lot of people who haven't actually managed their own money or investments. And so it becomes quite rare when you got the person who's sitting home and he's, trading stocks and investment vehicles. And many times these people are probably something like day traders, right? So you end up with quite a bit of people who haven't actually made a direct investment, or they might have never invested at all. This could be their first time investing, and we're speaking now specifically about cryptocurrency. When people move into cryptocurrency, for a lot of people, this is going to be their first investment, right? Might be their first major investment. So the mindset of a person coming into something like this, and this becoming their first, their first investment and what have you, it's a different mindset than what you would get, with maybe a more seasoned investor, a person who's been investing a long time. So it's just a whole different, it's going to be a whole different way of looking at things, right? Now, what I also discovered was that when people come in to investing, right, for maybe the first time, or they're starting to invest their money, a lot of people usually or generally come up with the notion that, oh, they're investing this money, they're hoping to get rich, they're going to put this money in, they're going to get $1 million out or something crazy. But I think it's actually more like people come into an investment. I think they're a lot more practical about it. right? I think on average, and I think we probably can all agree with that. They're probably looking at like, okay, well, I put this much money in. Maybe if I doubled my money, or maybe if I even tripled my money, or something like that, I would, I would be all right with that. That's something that I could see happening. But as far as 1,000% returns and going to the moon and all that type of stuff, I would think that's a rare mindset for most people that that's going to happen, especially, if you're putting in a rather smaller amounts of money and a variety of things like that. You probably aren't exactly. So, with all, uh, generally then it moves from, okay, they're in that mindset, into okay, what if they reach a kind of break even point where they're at a break even point and the market doesn't go up or down, but they haven't lost money, they haven't made money, but they haven't lost the money they put in. So even a first round investor, he probably kind of be able to deal with that. His mindset wouldn't freak out on him on that. But where a first round investor, where you might start to get quite a bit of problems with him, is that if his money that he put in, it starts to go dramatically below his break even point. Now he's he's essentially in a psychological situation mentally where he's losing his money, and he's losing it before his very eyes. And so I think this is what the situation is like in cryptocurrency. I think this is the very the average experience with a lot of people coming to cryptocurrency, probably being first time investors, probably first time they got to watch their investments go down, not knowing a whole lot what to expect, and then also coupling that with the nature of the cryptocurrency space, which has been this space that it's a different investment experience. I think when you couple a first round investor with the fast moving markets in cryptocurrency, you've actually gotten a lot of mentally what would be a short-term investor. Another thing, if you're a short-term, or I'm sorry, a first-round investor, you probably aren't a long-term investor. This is your first time through the rodeo, and you probably aren't looking to go out a very, very long period of time. So, I think when we compare all this to what's happening with Electroneum, I think that this is creating an effect where you're starting to see through the community it's this kind of huge schism, right? Where it's just a lot of people confused, don't know what to do, don't know what to make of it. Then you got people maybe a little bit more seasoned, they know how to sit it out, they know how to write it out, and a variety of things like that. But I think what is clear, and what I think we should keep in mind and bear in mind about all of this, is that whether you came in with either or mindset, I think that many of us are accepting now that Electroneum is a good project. It's a great project, and I stand by that. I still say it's a fantastic project. But I think a lot of people mentally aren't prepared for investment in a long-term vehicle, cryptocurrency. And I don't think the cryptocurrency space, the sentiment of it and the view of it has ever really led a lot of people down that path to go out and project out long on cryptocurrencies, with maybe the exception of Bitcoin, right? I think Bitcoin's probably, one of these things that, because it's, also because it's been around the last 10 years. So Bitcoin has been quite tested in that department. And so a lot of people, have a great deal of confidence built up in Bitcoin. But you take something like Electroneum that's not very old, but it's a good project, a good business, a good company, that many of us feel will do good down the road. The psychological effect on a lot of these first round investors is not going to work very well, in their mental landscape. So the reason I'm saying all that is just to try to understand it and help you all understand from what I can see from their perspective. Whereas someone like me, I've looked at Electroneum, it kind of became my surrogate Bitcoin in a way. And I kind of saw what they were doing. I said, okay, that's fine. It's a long-term investment. Now, here's what I want to impart to you all as well. And this is just a rule of investing, period. And you'll get the same information pretty much anywhere you go. That it is always a bad thing to put everything into one cryptocurrency. And that goes for Electroneum. We should not be making this our cryptocurrency that we're planning to retire off of. If we plan to get rich off in the next 10 years, we should not be doing any of that with not just Electroneum, but any cryptocurrency. We should always be, to a degree, diversified in cryptocurrency, right? There's no question Electroneum is a great project. They're a much greater project than a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there that don't have that real life business structure, that can't go sit down and speak with another business and sign a contract. These other cryptocurrencies can't do that. They aren't going to do that. They don't want to do that. So it is a good business, right? But the components of how the cryptocurrency space works is it works in a way where the money is actually our investment at the same time. So let's compare it this way. Let's say, if, keeping in mind the example we just gave about diversification and why you shouldn't just hold Electroneum, you should not buy Electroneum. I would just only Electroneum. I would challenge anybody who's buying Electroneum in the Electroneum community to the idea we should just hold Electroneum and only believe in Electroneum. But keeping that into consideration, think for a moment if you decided that, hey, I'm going to keep everything I got in cold hard cash. I'm going to take every possession I got. I'm going to sell the house. I'm going to sell the car. Sell all the stocks. And when I do that, I'm just going to have American dollars, right? And I'm just going to keep those American dollars, and I'm going to hold those American dollars for another 5-10 years, right? What happens to an American dollar over the years, right? Inflation, right? So the dollars you're holding today may be actually less than the dollars you were holding next year, even though it might be more added to the circulation of the money supply. Now, the thing is, with something like Electroneum, there's getting a lot of liquidity or more liquidity, but it doesn't seem to be reflected in the price dramatically or something like that. Well, I would like to believe, none of us know the future. I don't know, and you don't know either, but we would like to believe that the businesses they're closing because they're actually doing, they're actually out now in the real world, and they're making these partnerships, and hopefully they'll make enough of them at some point in the future. It might not be next year, it might not be the year after, but some point in the future, they make enough partnership to create enough value for it to some way reflect back in this cryptocurrency, right? We'll be talking 5 years from now. I have no idea. But I do believe it's a good business, right? And I will never say otherwise to that. But in looking at that right now as a money and the value of that, and for a person, first round investor, or a person who, as all the examples I gave prior to this, they're going to look at that and they're going to judge that and rate that on the value of that money in the market and how it's moving. And just like the example I gave, where you just took all that pure money, because we got our money locked into now what is essentially moving like a money. Then inflation would kick in. the value would not be the same as it was when we held all this money, and it wouldn't be growing like an asset. So that wouldn't work well, right, in that example. Of course, the hope is this doesn't happen to Electroneum, right? And Electroneum, is able obviously to grow these partnerships and get this value to trickle back down into the cryptocurrency to excite the buyers, once again, and get them buying. But all that said, and understanding that, let's get back to diversification. Even if Electroneum is a great cryptocurrency, even if it's mass adopted, even if it's the world's greatest cryptocurrency that ever existed, over the course of the next few years, smart investors would not just buy Electroneum. Smart investors wouldn't invest all their hope in Electroneum. They wouldn't invest all their value in Electroneum. Right? You should not do that under any circumstances. And if you're doing it, I think it's a mistake. Now, saying all that, I'm going to say this to that. And, of course, this channel, what we try to do here, guys, is we try to provide information to you that we feel is balanced and fair. We try to provide a solution if possible. We try to go that extra mile to give you something you can use, right? Something that actually is doing something for you. Not just me getting up here every week telling you or trying to sell you on a dream, right? I'm not trying to sell you a dream. I'm telling you to the best of my ability how it is, that you should not just be in one cryptocurrency. And something like Electroneum, you got to be patient with it, right? You got to be patient with it like a baby, right? You got to grow it. You got to, if you're a farmer, you got to plow that field and plant that seed, and you got to let that grow, right? Some coins are just that way. And I know we're all not built for that, but that's just the way it is. Now, in saying all that, I'm going to say this, and that is you got your Electroneum. We know you got your Electroneum, so you're watching this channel. But I want you guys to tell me in this video, what other cryptocurrencies do you have? If you care to, you don't have to, of course. But let me know what other cryptocurrency you have in your portfolio along with that Electroneum, right? In your cryptocurrency financial future. And I'm going to tell you about a cryptocurrency I want you to include in that and the reasons why. Now, I want to be clear on something. I want you to hear me well, because I know how some of the minds of you all work. Some people might look at what I'm going to say next as, it's just education. He's come up with a cryptocurrency. He just want to put us off on some cryptocurrency. It could be a scam. It could be a garbage. It could be a shite coin, right? I've heard it all, so I know. So listen to what I'm saying here. When you start going through your portfolio and you find you have your Electroneum in there, and you let us know if you want the other coins you have in there, we want you to include ours in there. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I know many of you all's position with Electroneum. Some of you've put your money in Electroneum. Some of you believe in it now. Some of you don't. Some of you want to get out, right? But you can't get out because it's dropped so low. If you get out now, you're going to get out of a big loss, right? Some of you bought in at 20 cents. Some might be holding, some might not be holding. Whatever the case may be. This is what I'm saying to you all. I know your situation with Electroneum. So, good or bad. So I'm going to say this. We're not asking for any of your money, right? What our cryptocurrency has, okay, is a smartphone simulated mining feature similar to Electroneum. Now, that's just one feature of our cryptocurrency. We are not anything like Electroneum. Electroneum is doing a great job in its own department. We have a similar feature amongst many other things our cryptocurrency does, but it's smartphone simulated mining, and it gives you free cryptocurrency. Now, I'm going to tell you this straight up. I can't guarantee you this, but first of all, and absolutely, if you get into this project, do not purchase. You don't have to purchase any of our cryptocurrency. That's not what we're saying. We don't sell it, and we haven't done an ICO. But as you look at our project, you'll understand why it works and why it moves the way it moves. It moves because we got a lot of value through other social media sites and blockchain and a variety of things that work on complicated inflation models that give money through a means of different things. Okay. But getting back to what's happening with us, or what's happening with you specifically, as you run your Electroneum device, if you run our project alongside that, you can run at the same time you run Electroneum. You will earn our cryptocurrency. Now, I'm not sure if it will pay out more per month than Electroneum pays per user at this time, however many crypto coins you get. It could pay out more, it could pay out less. But what I do know is this. Our cryptocurrency, it doesn't take any of your resources of your phone or anything like that. And if you're running it alongside Electroneum, it will give you added value onto what you're earning with Electroneum, right? So again, we're interested in building a network here. And that we understand business, and we understand how you can take a network and you can make money off that network indirectly without making money directly off people buying directly from us. So I'm saying all this to say this, that in order for this project to be valuable to you as a holder of cloud mining these free cryptocurrencies that you can try for free and earn them for free, we're saying that there's a way we can be valuable through our network without necessarily people buying our cryptocurrency directly. And as you study our project more, we'll leave a white paper link in the description. You'll find out why that is. I think that's a smart move. I think it will maybe take the edge off a little bit as you're waiting on that Electroneum return to come through. And I think it works so comparably good with Electroneum. And I think this will work well for you all. So I think you owe it to yourselves to take a look at this project and see if it works for you. Again, we're not asking for direct investment dollars. You will understand and learn how the project works, and you will understand that that's not necessarily what we need for it to work. And we've thought about this. We've really done some analysis of how it should work. We've run some models. And we can tell you that we're very confident that we're approaching this cryptocurrency space from a totally different perspective than some you've seen before. And you'll be impressed to find out exactly how we're achieving that. And so I think that'd be a good idea. That said, even if you use you keep your value in Electroneum, run these simulated miner, run our simulated miner along with that as a comparison. So you can earn on both of those projects, right? Even with those things going, I still think it's an idea that we really get into the mindset of building up a portfolio of cryptocurrencies and not just kind of coming into this idea of just one cryptocurrency. It is not safe. It is not advisable. And we should be very, very mindful of that. Again, takes nothing away from Electroneum. I said it earlier. I said again, great project, great concept. I believe, my opinion is that there will be profits made on Electroneum investments either now or much later in the future. But I think the way it's going to happen is going to be quite different than many of us have pictured it or imagined it, especially, again, going back to first round investors. And I want to say this as well. I think it's also very important that we stop blaming people for being upset about their money not going up. A lot of these people are first round investors. They don't know a whole lot about cryptocurrency, and the mood and the atmosphere of the cryptocurrency being a slow, fast moving market. It has kind of did this thing mentally. I think it's just a natural reaction for many people or would be for new people. So, blaming these people for getting upset and disappointed and calling them dumb and calling them stupid. No, it's a natural reaction to the way the cryptocurrency space has worked. So I understand their pain and frustration. I also understand the perspective of the Electroneum team and Electroneum members who are working in a business and they're working hard to try to get that business to work, and they don't have anything to do with that market, right? So whatever is going on in that market, we know there are a lot that goes on in a market, and that's outside of the Electroneum team, as a business. Their jobs is to be management. Management means going out and doing what they're doing, getting the partnerships, making the company valuable, right? That's all they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to interfere with the market. They're not supposed to go in there and say, well, look, we made all this money over here, so we're going to inject it back in. We're going to buy this or buy that. That's not necessarily how the business works, right? What needs to happen is we can have that trickle down effect, of course, with the way that their partnerships are working, when they get more and more people buying up these minutes, right? That could have a trickle down effect. Or the market wakes up and realizes, hey, this is a pretty great project. Maybe we should be putting our money over here and not in some of these other projects that don't have even really good use cases. They just got few big whales in them and they're pushing the market up. So all those things should be considered into this. But what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to drop a link to the white paper in the comments section. And you need to check that out. You need to be running that simulated miner. Being in Electroneum at this time, this is a long-term investment. As far as making money right now, you're not doing yourself any favors by avoiding our project, which is going to give you some free cryptocurrency. You can go trade on the market today and get money from it. So that's what you need to be aware of. But those are my thoughts on it, guys. And, so you've been in Electroneum such a long time. I don't think I have to tell you guys that a lot of you are going to be strong. You're going to stay in, and some people, are going to want to get out, and there's nothing we can do about that. If you want to get out of Electroneum, if you're disappointed in Electroneum, try our product, see if you like it. It doesn't cost you anything. Try it out. If you love Electroneum, you want to just stay and do Electroneum, that's great as well. Stay with Electroneum, do that. We all know what the future of Electroneum, some of us know, it looks like. And for many of us, the future of Electroneum looks good, right? It's just kind of what's happening in the in-between. But guys, that's all I want to say in this video. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, take care. If you have any questions about our project, how it works, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Get started. You will be glad that you did. Take care, guys.